Oh, get off my lawn!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex here from Jack of the Games, aka Grinning Panda. This game is actually being recorded as a ranked match, and I'm the Nottingham Ezreal, who is bottom left currently, and that's my team. So we have Mordekaiser mid, Shen top, Aurelia jungle, and Soraka and myself bot. Opposing team is Teemo and Janna bot, Heimerdinger middle, and Cho'Gath top, and then Shyvana jungle. Interesting little fact, our jungler ended up randoming Aurelia, and, you know, kind of has a little bit of a bummy start. As you'll see, she gives up first blood, but that's beside the point. It's a good match, you know. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. I'm going to try some different editing this time. I'm going to try and speed up the maybe somewhat mundane or boring parts. Also where I'm not talking, so you get a little bit of high-pitched Ezreal, fast-paced action going on with the voices, which is kind of entertaining. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. But one interesting thing that happened was somebody thought Heimerdinger was top because of the teleport, which isn't necessarily the case. But as you see here, I go the general boots pots first, coordinating with my team what to do. They're thinking Heimerdinger mid, but I'm like, nah. And then Soraka's asking what she should level up for the team, or at least for us bot. So I tell her to go with whatever's clever, but to start with E first for the jungler, and then go from there because I don't play Soraka. I think she's a strong support, as you'll see. Some people disagree and think she's the worst support ever, but I guess they've never seen a good Soraka. So, bot here is something which I played cautious too, because I don't play against many Teemos as Ezreal. Mind you, as any AD, I rarely see Teemo's bot. And funny thing about this one, he's supposed to be the AD carry. You'll see later on why that's entertaining and amusing. But Soraka's pointing out that Teemo's pushing, which isn't necessarily giving him the best CS, because he just keeps auto-attacking while I try and last hit and farm. And then if you notice in the bottom right corner, the minimap shows first blood go into Heimerdinger and assist on Shyvana by killing Aurelia, who was, I guess, trying to counter jungle or something to that extent. So, one good thing about the bottom lane is that Soraka and I have really good sustain. The only sustain that Janna gives is the shield to Teemo if he decides to poke and then puts a shield on him, so that I can't really retaliate without wasting money or wasting mana trying to break down the shield. And that's their gimmick. But you see that damage that they did there, it took away about a bar of health, so about 100. And because Soraka's Soraka, she can heal me up. And one thing with the Soraka support is that some people tend to spam abilities because they think, oh, free mana, yay! But in reality, it's not always the best idea, because Soraka has to use mana to give you mana. And that infuse, you know, isn't the cheapest with all her skills, so she could run out of mana very easily just trying to supplement your overuse, right? So I try to just conserve it for pokes. And also, kudos to that Janna, because I think she played a really good game as a support. She just had a very poopy AD carry bot. Now, for one thing, Soraka just went to go ward, and she has to blow her flash to get over the wall there, and wasn't the best positioning on her part. I think that's one of the few mistakes she makes this game, is warding and then going back through the lane, because Janna had presumably already warded, meaning that they had vision on what was going on, and they went to cut her off, and then Shyvana came in behind her, cutting off her escape route, and meaning she had to force a flash, or pretty much guaranteeing them a kill. And if her flash was down from some harass earlier, then she would have been caught out of position and died. Mind you, considering how decent the support was, she may have known that and decided to take the risk. Because besides that, she sees that I'm just farming and then poking when I can. But the trade-off is that if Teemo blinds me, I don't do that much damage. And I'm not doing that best with skill shots this game. So, I make up for it. So, if you notice here, look at Janna's mana and then Soraka's mana. They're playing extremely aggressive, as well as pushing the lane, which is leaving them open to ganks. But Aurelia comes to gank here, and I don't know, what would you guys have done? Because I don't think this Janna pulled it off very well. She went into, like, attack and just backed off rather than going all in, because granted it is warded, but I don't think that they initially saw her, and then she backed off and came back again, which maybe she was debating between mid and bot, but our Aurelia our Aurelia was an interesting character that match. I think she makes up for it near the end of the match, but excuse me, they take blue there. But again, I think randoming the jungler, kudos to pulling it off. Now the mana thing that I was mentioning earlier is they're playing super aggressive and we have the mana, but Janna just got blue, which may counteract that lack of, I don't know, harass sustain because they can't keep it up. Now, I just leveled my ult, and I quick level by using shortcuts on the keyboard, and due to that I can sometimes level up mid-fight, and if I haven't unlocked an ability yet, depending on what time the gank is, I can unlock it and then basically throw a curveball at them because they're like, oh, he's not 3 yet. Oh my god, he's 3! How did he get that ability? Because of smart cast, or smart upgrading leveling thing. So, because we've been playing so passively, Soraka managed to save her exhaust, but the Janna, clutch Janna, she's been, like, throughout the game, she plays really, really well. Flashes and uses her ultimate offensively to not only heal her companions, teammates, but to ensure the kill on Soraka, my support, leaving me alone in lane. But again, I have superior mobility and I'm just farming. Like, hopefully I'll bring up the CS counter, the stat screen, in a sec, and then we can see what my CS to Teemo's is. But I just feel like I'm outplaying them at this point, and right there, Janna's really low on health. I could have used my ult to try and secure a kill, but I feel like that would have been somewhat of a waste because I could have missed it, and I'd rather use it on Teemo. So rather than securing a kill, I'd rather farm, make sure that I have the upper hand, and save it for when it counts. Excuse me. But the beauty of using your ult offensively on the ADC is that it gives you the upper hand in a low fight if the lane's even, because you do instant damage, and if they don't have healing or sustain, that's damage that they have to live with. Soraka doing a clutch ult, I think saving mid, but that's damage that they have to deal with, and then they have to play defensively because they'll have a lack of health in comparison, if you know what I mean. Like, if you go into a 1v1 and you have less health, you're likely going to lose if it's even, right? So that evens it up. Even, right?
Over here.
I'm thinking right now, looking back at this, I could have hit Teemo with my ult again, like that, and I miss horribly. So I guess that was just bad timing on my part, because I thought maybe he was in the bush. And this is Aurelia making up for her kind of shoddy starting and beginnings, and getting a double kill on mid. So kudos to her. I should totally use my ultimate.
Oh my god!
It missed. So Teemo just came back in a lane, and Soraka ended up saving Shen, if not giving him a little bit more power in lane. So, you know, kudos to her. Like I said, she's been doing really nice support throughout the game, and has pretty good map awareness for the most part, which you wouldn't think so after that, I guess, beginning river walkthrough that I was talking about earlier. But she could have just underestimated the opponent if she didn't have flash. But she did, and she survived. So here Soraka's asking if Drag's down. She's pretty much stating that Drag's already been done by them. But because of the, I guess, elo that we're in, they didn't do it, so Dragon is still up. I think they could have had a free Dragon there, but hindsight's 20/20, and maybe they didn't feel it was safe enough. Now there I'm checking the bush with my Q to make sure that he's, or anybody else isn't in there, because I'm not going to walk in and check if there's shrooms, because shrooms would hurt and they would slow me and leave me open to some unwanted harassment by either minions or enemy teams. So what I did was just throw my Q in there. If anybody was in there, it would have hit, it would have stopped short, and I would have known to be a little bit careful and a little bit weary of going into the bush itself. So Soraka and I have switched from playing farly passive, greatly passive, very passive, seriously passive. Anyway, so here I ult, just because they're going in for it, and then Teemo, getting greedy, goes after Soraka under the turret. What happens here is I keep fighting because I know that I can take them. So Shyvana keeps going, so I'm going to take out Janna instead. And then Shyvana reappears, oh my god, wild Shyvana! And I keep taking it. So I'm thinking here I'm screwed. But luckily a Shen ult comes up, and my Arcane Shift comes up just in time too, which gets me out of the way. So 3 kills for 1. Because I believe Soraka died. Yeah, Soraka did die. As it showed on the left, her portrait was grayed out and there was a number. So, bad play by them. They got greedy. This happens more than you would think in ranked matches. People get frustrated. They go on full tilt. It's a poker term that means once you go, like, once you start tilting one way, you just kind of like fall right off the edge and just start playing poorly. So they just kept going for it. Teemo really wanted that kill. I don't even think he ended up getting the kill. Shyvana or Janna did, and they both ended up dying for it. 1 for 3, pretty damn good. And then I'm praising Shen for his amazing timing and ability, and he totally saved my ass. Yeah, and plus I got red buff out of it too, so I'm I'm a force to be scared of in lane because I have higher mobility than Teemo. I'm not sure if he has flash. I think he actually doesn't start with flash. He started Ghost Ignite, which I don't fully understand. I don't know what he was thinking for. Maybe he thought he was going to wreck lane and then go roam and just be an awesome possum. Or an awesome gerbil, whatever he is. A little rodent rat thing. But I just used my ult. Now it's up again. Ezreal's ult is on a massively tiny cooldown. It's like a minute and 10 seconds. Something like that. So I can use it to harass, secure kills, or anything like that. But the beauty of that, earlier when they dived, is that I hit all 3 of them with my ultimate. Which pretty much, if I hadn't had used it, or if I missed one of them, that wouldn't have been possible. And at this point, also, I'd like to point out that their ADC is building AP. I believe at the end stats, I looked at his items because I wasn't looking at it throughout the game, just because I guess I was just comfortable enough. And he was building AP. Now there, Janna was just being silly. I don't know what she was expecting. Maybe she wasn't anticipating the red buff slow. But something to learn. Even good players can learn. So, yeah. And here is an example, prime example of me more concerned of farming rather than getting a kill, because really if I flashed in, or not flashed in, if I arcane shifted in, attacked, Q'd, ignited, he would have died. But that wasn't on my mind. I just wanted him to get out of there because I wanted to farm and get the turret and just, I don't know. I wasn't concerned about kills. It's like, I've said this before, it's not about... CS wins games. CS and wards, because... Oh, and map awareness. Like, Soraka just stood there and saved Mordekaiser's ass. Because Mord just got a kill, then Shen is mid, so we get to turn it around. Here, seeing Heimerdinger low, some players would use their ultimate to just initiate from far away and maybe do some damage, but I saved it, and luckily I did, because he flashes under his turret. BAM! That's a dead Heimerdinger. Then Aurelia goes down. Not too big of an issue, because she is the, I guess, scrub of the team. I'm not saying that she's a bad player, I'm just saying because, I don't know, it just didn't, it worked, but the random Aurelia jungle, it could have gone better, and I guess she was trying to compensate and was just learning the curve through the first part of the game, so, yeah, anyways. Her sacrifice will be remembered, and in her name, we take down this turret. So, fight breaks out here. Shen stays in. This is actually really something interesting. Shen stays in, and... Oh, this is not the moment I was thinking of, but Shen is super tanky. He has been doing well all game. He can take a hell of a lot of damage, and because of his abilities, he can heal up. Now, what happened there, that was good coordination by their team. They ended a stun by Heimerdinger, and then a rupture by Cho'Gath, and then there, you know, I don't know if, like, it was good positioning by me, if not the rest of the team. I was in the right place at the right time for me. Like, I didn't die. Janna ulted me away, but I could kill her. We lost 3 people in that, and then we got, I think, at least 1 kill, maybe 2 if we're lucky. I can't quite remember. It happened so quickly. But, yeah. This is kind of the unfortunate part. But...
Agreed.
So we lose the tower, but no biggie. It's 1 tower, and Heimerdinger's probably going to get top tower as well. That's not too big of a deal. I'm comfortable where I am. Here I'm trying to decide whether I should get a full Guardian's Angels, which would increase my survivability, but seeing as I haven't died yet, and more damage output would be great, seeing as I can have some decent team positioning, or 80 carry positioning. I think the increased damage will help the team more than if I just got a Guardian Angels, because yeah, I could tank a little bit more and maybe do some more damage, but overall I felt the reward was far greater if I got the increased damage, because BF Sword is what, 50 damage or so at this point, 60, something like that, and then getting a pickaxe that's increased 45, or is BF Sword 60? Anyways, it's a lot more AD than I had before, because before I just had Bloodthirsters, full stacks, and the boots. Again, clutch ult by Raka. I'm assuming, maybe not, I don't know. I'll give it to her and say it was clutch. But yeah, it was clutch because Shyvana died. Sure. So we got 2 kills out of that and 1 death, because I believe Mordekaiser killed somebody mid. I could have traded with Cho'Gath, but I probably wouldn't have traded well. I don't have the damage or the attack speed to take him out yet. So I'm trying to make a call of going bot first. And earlier in the game, actually, there was some communication between Mordekaiser and myself. He wanted to get that inhibitor far earlier, or actually right now. I think this is the time. He wanted to get that inhibitor, but the team wasn't around, and then he goes on to say, that's pretty much what he's saying. So he's blaming the team for not being there, and I told him to be careful. All caps may seem like I'm being rude, but I'm just trying to assert the proper rational thought of what to do. Because, like, if the whole team's there, yeah, inhibitors are priority, because you gotta learn objectives, but you're not gonna go in there alone just with an Ezreal when the whole team of theirs is missing and could easily come and take it. Like, we can't 2v5, it doesn't make sense. So I said we should have got bot first. He dies, I get away. Sucks for him. And, like, if it lost us the game, then it would suck for us. But it didn't, because everyone else, I don't know, we just outplayed them for the most part. No offense to anybody in this match. All I'm saying is that this game, we just happened to play a tad bit better. But that's ranked. There's 1 winner and 1 loser. And I don't think there's ever a tie. So I was just getting ready to do whatever I do. This is a shitty position. Soraka is right beside me, saving my ass. I managed to flash away, or not flash away, arcane shift away. I ult, I hit 2 of them, at least 2 of them. I think I hit Cho'Gath as well. I flashed because I thought I was going to lose Shyvana, and I knew that there was team fight. I just didn't know that my teammates were right below there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have flashed, because it's a waste of a flash, and I wasn't trying to get a kill steal. I was actually just trying to secure the kill so she couldn't participate in the rest of the team fight. Soraka says Baron. This is one time I disagree with her. Mordekaiser and I agree that Baryon, as I like to spell it, is not the prime objective. The inhibitor is, because we can always go do the Baron after, but they're going to be up soon, by the time we leave the base at least, and Dragon is the optimal objective after that. So, I say Dragon, they say Baron. Majority was going to go to Baron, but they start heading to Dragon. That's why the only reason I was going to go to Baron, because the majority was, and I couldn't take Dragon alone. But they decided to come with me, and they make the proper call. Shirley is going off, not necessarily, yeah, maybe was a good call, but they don't think we're in this bush. At least if they do, they weren't expecting it. Sorry, what? No, they didn't care. They wanted to face check, because Dragon's important. It's a nice objective. And I say, no, don't follow them. Get Dragon, because it's way more important. I pulled it out to make sure that Cho'Gath couldn't rupture over the edge or do some other funky stuff that some people do. Like, in another match that I had yesterday, a Shen dashed over the wall because it wasn't pulled out, and then he smited it and got the or no, wait, did he? Either way, we won. But that's a different match. And here, my positioning is over the wall where I can still attack, and I'm hoping that... Well, at the time I was hoping that they couldn't retaliate very well because I'm behind the wall, but there were minions there so they would be able to see me. Shen takes a nice kill steal. I think, like, not trying to sound a little greedy, but I think I should have had a little bit more kills than 606. But, again, far more important. Teamwork more important. So that's what we did, and it worked for us. And again, like, Shen being fed works a hell of a lot in our favor. I get super ballsy here. I'm just in the midst of it. Debatable if it's a good decision or not, but I guess it could be called cocky. It could be called, hey, you can, so why not? But just, we're changing focus all over the place. At least I was. I went from Cho to Teemo to Janna, but yeah, maybe that was a bad call on my part. Anyways, Teemo died. We were harassing, stalling. This was what I was meant to talk about earlier. Shen jumps in again. I'm telling him get out. Soraka's telling him get out. I wanted to get their red. Now, because Shen has been so tanky, if not fed, maybe he got fed on creeps or whatever on farm, but Soraka is good enough to stay with Shen. I think, I don't need those minions because it's their red. If it doesn't reset, I don't really care. So I'm telling, okay, go in. I'm coming in from behind. I have red buff. I'm low on mana, so I'm just going to try and conserve what I have. I'm going to ult here. I'm going to miss my ult and hit just one of them, thinking I was going to hit 3 of them. I get 1 kill. We finish off 3 of them. They don't get a kill just from running from their base chasing our Shen. So that went really well. I'm congratulating them with good work because that's what nice people do, right? I think there were a few kind of like team captains in this game. We all had fairly good map awareness and fairly good judgment, and if one of us lacked it at that moment, it was how should I say, it was rectified, because the rest of our team would make up for it and say, hey, not a good idea, or hey, stay and fight. Like, I'm not sure if this happened already. I think it will after this push. Cho'Gath will end up coming all the way. Ha! Oh, thank God, Soraka. I have red buff, so I'm just turning around to hit him so he can slow down. He keeps chasing. Like I said, they just go full tilt. And I haven't died yet. I have 7 kills, 0 deaths, and 12 assists. So I'm thinking I'm going to ult if he stays there. He doesn't stay there. One thing, I jump in though, because I didn't go Triforce, I didn't rely on the proc or anything like that, so it doesn't matter if I got silenced, because auto-attack Ezreal, he's an AD carry, let him do his thing. So, here, we're going back in. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. Just poking. I have low health. Soraka's healing me. I'm getting some health back from Bloodthirsters. Really, in hindsight, I should have been like, yo guys, we should go. I need to buy Guardian's Angels, so I need to survive, etc, etc. I should have ran left. I didn't. My Arcane Shift comes up, and then I shift out of it. Soraka was nice enough to heal me, but Teemo gets an auto attack off, and I die at the end of my Arcane Shift. Very sad day. It was, yeah, it was sad. Because what I was doing was attacking the Nexus, and what happened was the inhibitor came up, so here I'm venting a little. I'm still having a good time, but I was just trying to end it, and I wasn't anticipating the inhibitor coming up. Noob move on my part. What happens here is... Come on, get out of the item screen. Come on, let me see. I want to see the death. You want to see the death of Mordekaiser. He's dead. Aurelia goes in, and this is something nice. She's ballsy. I'll give her that. And like I said, she cleans up. She does fairly well given the circumstances of how she started. She gets a double kill, goes in on Janna. She has blue buff and red buff. She gets the triple kill. She goes on Shyvana. and gets the Quadra. And rather than attacking the inhibitor, rather than attacking the Nexus, she just wants to farm, and she wants to get the unofficial pentakill. But unfortunately, that happens, and I send my ult in a little too early, I guess, and a little to the side. But anyways, that's the match. I didn't do very well with skill shots, but I made up with it for team fights and farm. And just outplaying the enemy ADC, who, like I said earlier, or was mentioning, he built AP. First item he went was Malady. It just went really silly. I don't know. He kind of threw the game to an extent for that team. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll try and record some more. Videos and ranked stuff for League of Legends. That, by the way, if I haven't mentioned already, that was a 1200 rough, mid 1200s ELO match. And my goal is to get to 1300s, assuming they keep the ranking system. Like, I know they're changing the new ranking system, the new ELO system coming up, but we'll go from there. Anyways, I'll catch you guys around. See you Summoners on Summoner's Rift. Cheers.